Good day and welcome to the third day here at our studio in Paris. And with me this morning I have Emil Gurevitch from NES. And Emil, we are talking security. Now, you told me a little bit earlier that you were one of those guys sitting in the corner in the hoodie with the computer keyboard. Okay, perhaps not quite that, but could you explain what it was that you were asked to do?
Yes, I was asked by a utility to assess the security of their smart meter solution. So, smart meter solution consists of the smart meters, some network nodes, and then finally the head-end system. And the premise was that we wanted to make it as realistic as possible, so I was not giving any insider information. I was not giving pretty much any technical information about the solution. I had to find it online or call vendors up, trying to fool them into saying, like, I'm very interested in purchasing products. Could I get the user manuals? So it was very, the reconnaissance phase of this security assessment took a long time. So yes, I was in front of a smart meter that was connected to a larger network, and all smart meters have these optical ports, or most have those. And those are kind of maintenance ports where you can access features, configure the meter. So that was my first focus point, was just, can I get one meter under control? Can I hack into one meter through this optical port? So that was my first step. And after that, I looked into the larger network. And that required much more, again, research. I was familiar with internet technologies and web applications, but the smart grid doesn't run on the same technology at all. So again, I spent probably most of my time getting an understanding of these new stacks of technologies and trying to understand them and find out where the implementers might have implemented a security feature in a wrong way, or trying just to understand where the joints are, where can I tweak and probe to see if it falls apart. And so, gradually you slowly start to get a better understanding of it, and then you're starting to think, oh, maybe they didn't think of this attack, or maybe they didn't think of that attack. So it was I didn't have much to lean on. Although I've done penetration tests before this, I couldn't lean on much of anything that I was using before. So yeah, that was basically the scenario, starting from a smart meter and working my way up.
And how successful were you?
I can't speak to the details of the project and how far up, but I had 3 months with this system, which is, for a pen test engagement, is very long. Usually they're much shorter. And if you put a security person in front of something for 3 months, there will be improvements to be made out of this project.
Yeah.
And sure, we made a lot of enhancements as a result of this project. It was certainly, and it also gave the utility a much better understanding of the risks and the impacts and the probabilities of attacks. Before our report, it was basically a black box where you just had to trust what the vendor claimed. But this utility, I think, took a really good approach. They trusted the vendor, had a very good relationship, but they wanted to verify the claims. And I think a lot of utilities here at Utility Week could take a note of that. That's a very good approach.
I think you mentioned earlier that hackers and perhaps people that have less, whose intentions are not always that good, don't play by the same rules.
Right.
So I guess having that opportunity to look at it from a completely different perspective could only provide some really incredibly valuable lessons.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, sometimes security requirements can be a help to hackers, because you know where to look and you know where not to look. Usually, when you see security control being included in a standard, there are some common pitfalls. So again, it kind of helps hackers to understand how the security controls were designed and meant to be designed, and then you have some experience in breaking those designs in reality. So actually, sometimes it really helps shortcut or go faster through and look for the low-hanging fruit when you have a security certification or a requirement. I'm not saying security requirements are a bad thing at all. Don't get me wrong. But they kind of give an attacker on a map where should I look first? Like, where are the low-hanging fruit?
And what would your advice be then to utilities that are wondering how to now test the security of their network?
Yeah, I think one way is definitely to have a third-party penetration test to verify the claims of the vendor. I think that's a solid advice. You need to be careful in choosing your penetration company. There's probably the problem is, and I alluded to that earlier, there's a lot of uniqueness around smart grids. So you want a penetration test to understand those weaknesses and those uniqueness, so you don't just get a generic IT pen test. You really want some specialized knowledge in smart grids, and that's kind of hard to come by these days. We don't have a lot of security people on the offensive side, I don't think.
No, I mean it's been mentioned many times that it is a shortfall within, well, not only this sector, but I think globally.
Yeah, but I still think engaging with universities, I think. So I did this in collaboration with a university as well, so it was this three-way project: university, utility, and vendor. So the vendor helped resolve and enhance the security solution of the product. The utility got a more secure system, and I was a student at the time at a university studying my master's in computer science. And I really think that was a great three-way, because you get this student that is hungry for learning more and breaking new things.
And experience, right?
Experience, yes. So you can really, it's sort of a win-win situation when you bring in universities, I think. That's one way to get people into our industry as well, because we really need them. So anyone listening, if you want to be on the offensive side and you want to share notes with me, feel free to reach out. I'm happy to talk to you.
Thank you so much for taking the time to share your story with us. From our studio here in Paris, thanks for watching.